Welcome to the Hiredgun podcast with your host, the Hiredgun. First, like, subscribe, share. How y'all doing, y'all? So, let's get into it. This ain't even about SmackDown. SmackDown was good. I enjoyed SmackDown a hell of a lot more than I enjoy Raw. I enjoyed SmackDown a hell of a lot more than I enjoy TNA, and AEW. All right, even the SmackDown from last week. This SmackDown was great. Okay, wasn't the best SmackDown ever, no, but it was a good SmackDown. All right, but it's not even about that. So I came in here Tuesday, right? And I said the best match of the week was Dragon Lee versus Penta, right? And I told y'all then there was nothing, there was nothing that was gonna beat that this week. I lied. I lied. It's not my fault though, but I lied. There's something beat it. Not even the fucking close. But it beat it. Wasn't even close, dog. The drag the Dragon League was great. It was great. It was damn near elite. Right? Right? No. You know what match was elite? And that beat it? Carmella Hayes versus Dragunov. And I didn't know them niggas was gonna wrestle. When I found that out, I was scrolling through dirt sheets, and lo and behold, they said mystery opponent revealed, and I went there and I seen who he was fighting. I was like, oh, I lied. Oh, this is what we getting. I'm sorry. And then they didn't what's the word I'm looking for? They didn't whatever the word I'm looking for. They 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 showed the fuck out. They showed the fuck out Friday. Alright, it's probably like that was probably the best match they had. They had a lot of them. That don't mean none of the mainstream. Not on the main event. I mean, not main event. The oh no, my words are so fucked up right now. Not on main event. I they've only wrestled 3 times, and one of them, 4 times. One of them was two of them was horse shit because Dragunov won against Carmelo Hayes, uh, Tommaso Ciampa defeated it, and then one of the times that Melo won, Miz defeated it. So they wrestled 4 times, and this is probably the best one. And that don't mean even that don't mean that does not mean the ones they had before were bad because they can't have a bad match. They can't. They can't. Um, but what did he go from here? Now, this does clear up room and space for Plan B for Gunther now to fight Dragunov. It does open up the window for that now because they already did the whole match with Gunther. I mean, Carmelo Hayes and Dragunov lost, right? So they have closed that window now, unless they're gonna do something different. But it does leave room for Dragunov to fight Gunther now. It does. It clears up space because I thought this match was gonna happen at Mania because they were pushing it off that way. You know. Now maybe they couldn't last 3 to 4 more weeks, but they were pushing it off that way, you know, and now they have it. I mean, they had the match, and there was no fuckery, there was no interference, there was no cheating involved. Melo beat him. Like, Melo straight up beat him. So there was no need to, there was no need for anything else now, and that's the truth. Like we don't, unless we get a best of seven, a best two out of three falls at Mania. Because my only complaint about this match it was on TV. I need a good 15 minutes on a pay per view for them. Maybe 20. I'm all for it. Like I was semi mad I didn't use my VPN, because then I wouldn't have to worry about the fuckery about these commercials, and it would just stay with it. Plain and simple. Plain and simple. But I lied, yo. I lied. Like like SmackDown had the Dragon. Sorry. Dragunov versus Carmelo Hayes was match of the week. It was. It wasn't even close. And y'all see me gaslight the fucking Dragon Lee and Penta match. Great match. Loved it. Love it. But it don't come close to what I seen last night. Period. Period. Now, let me talk about SmackDown. Right quick. So, I'm convinced the mystery man that's talking to Randy is Kevin Owens. Because Kevin Owens is right. He's been right. He's been right. Right? Okay, so, but, so, SmackDown was a good show. A good show. Was there stuff I could have lived without? Yeah, of course. Of course. But that doesn't change anything about SmackDown. Like they did what they did with Roman. Had him all through the show. They did it with Randy all through the show. Which you need that. Like, make your main focus be your main focus on these shows. Whether it's CM Punk, whether it's Roman, or whether it's Cody, or whether it's Randy Orton. Make it your main focus. Now, Randy Orton was all over this show, right? But so was Drew McIntyre and Jacob. And it was chaos in the beginning, the middle, and at the end. What you need, which I think we get in a steel cage match. I know usually a steel cage match is the blow off match. Alright? But nah. Just to keep these niggas Drew and Jacob in one spot, in one place, put them in a cage. Alright? Because that's what you need with them. Because they was everywhere. They was everywhere last night. They were everywhere last night. And that's what you need. You need a cage. But good, like chaos, control chaos for shows is good. It's good. Because like it was chaos with Jacob and Drew, and there was chaos with Randy. And because Randy came out and let me say this about Randy. Alright. Like, they knew. See, last year, the E was more careful with who they wrestled with Cody, because they was afraid that Cody was going to get booed and somebody was going to get cheered, right? Like, or what places they went. But this year, they kind of know they can't do that, right? Because they knew going in, if they did Randy versus Cody, like, Randy was gonna get cheered, Randy's gonna get cheered regardless. I mean, last night, and let me say this now. Let me say this now, and I'm gonna go back into the whole mystery opponent person with the phone thing. So I gotta say something about that. Um, so the biggest hill is the fans. The biggest hill, the truest hill, are the fans. Like, I'm not just saying that this is safe, right? I mean that with me too, right? But not, but in this case, like, Randy Orton came out there and said, "Guys cheering for me, leave me empty inside," and y'all niggas cheered for it. Think about that shit. Think like the biggest fans. I mean, the biggest heels are fans. And it's been, it ain't just with Randy. It's been that way for a minute now. And you know how many wrestlers say they miss the old days when you booed bad guys. Nah, listen, I've always cheered for bad guys. Like not just in wrestling, like in general. Like Gara is one of my favorite characters in Naruto. Vegeta is one of my favorite characters in Dragon Ball Z. Right? Right. So like I've always cheered for bad guys. Right? Rhino Warriors back in the day. Right? Anubis and Diaz and Klaus were my favorite characters. And sorry getting out of track. But still I've always cheered for bad guys. So they're not talking about me. But like the biggest hit because even when Randy fucked up Matt Carolina last night with his arm, you know what the fans were cheering? One more time. One more time. Right? Right. And it's been that way. Like it's just like when Russell Reed was doing the tsunami to anybody, they would say one more time, no matter who it was. One more time, one more time. And by the way, you can go ahead and turn Sammy Hill now because he's not even getting crowd reactions when he comes out now. Like he's so cold right now, it's not even funny. It's like he's not getting a reaction. And maybe because he hasn't been on TV. I mean, that he has been in the ring to be knowledge enough, or they want him to turn heel. So there's that too. But like the biggest heel are the fans. And you seen that last night. You seen that on Monday. You seen that last Mania. They're the biggest heels because they control the narrative. If they don't get what they want, they start booing. If they don't get what they want, they start saying what if, right? And then let me get to this whole mystery guy on the phone. Okay, you know what the biggest thing, the worst thing in wrestling is when people say what if. Now, common sense here, right? Common sense here of who's on the phone with Orton. Okay. Common sense. It could be The Rock. That's common sense, right? That's common sense right there. Maybe Flair, which I'm pretty sure Flair is still on the contract with AEW, so it can't be Flair, right? Common sense. Kevin Owens, right, or Bob Orton. These are logic things here. So why did I say the worst thing in wrestling when somebody says what if? Because then people get creative and that's stupid. They say what if it's Ted DiBiase Jr. right? Who just got out of court from not guilty. What if it's him? But people who were saying his name before he got acquitted of not guilty, right? Right? Then the dumbest shit I've ever heard, right? What if it's Shaman Man? No, no, because you know who hasn't been a fuck around since not Vince, since Stephanie and Triple H took over? Shaman Man. They don't fuck with him. He don't fuck with them. So I say the worst thing ever created when niggas say what if. It's the worst thing. Alright? Because then, the, then these people go crazy over thought, and then you know what happens when it's not? Oh, what the fuck happened? Oh, it gotta be somebody else. It can't just be Kevin Owens. It has to be someone. Even though we haven't seen Kevin Owens in 2 fucking years. Now, am I biased? You fucking right, I'm biased. Like Kevin Owens is my favorite wrestler in WWE. Alright, Kevin Owens is my favorite wrestler. Period. Alright, when healthy. Healthy is Will Ospreay. Okay, okay, okay. Alright, so like the what if shit triggers the fuck out of me because then people act stupid. They act stupid. They get creative and then they get their feelings hurt when it's not what they was thinking. And like it's retarded. So it's in reason you have to think about who's on that phone. Kevin Owens makes sense. Stephanie McMahon makes sense because she's there. Right? Triple H makes sense. The Rock even makes sense because it's like it involves Cody. Now, if you want to say, well, The Rock hasn't been involved in stuff since last Mania. Okay, and you know, and he hasn't. He won on Pat McAfee's show, and that's the last time we heard of him about wrestling stuff. Right? Now, some would say he wanted to get his name back out there because his movie bombed. It's true. It's true. So I'm not saying that answer is stupid, but Ted DiBiase is stupid. It's a stupid answer. Do I understand why people would say it? Yeah. Yeah, but before Ted DiBiase Jr. got in trouble, right? Right? Well, he's been in trouble for like 7 fucking years. Even before that, he wasn't in the fucking wrestling anymore. And have you seen that nigga? Huh? Have you seen him? No, right? Right. But I have. No. Now. The Shane stuff. The Shane McMahon stuff. So before the Oscars happened, right? When the last time you seen Shane McMahon? Not in the E-ring. I'm not even talking about like a WWE ring. Alright? The last time you seen Shane McMahon? Right? I give you one better. Before the John Cena farewell thing, right? What was Shane McMahon? What was he? Because I know, he was teasing jumping ship to AEW. They don't fuck with that, man. Not AEW. No. He don't fuck with that, man. He don't fuck with that, man. Like he is a terrorist. He don't fuck with that boy. Like they don't. So that's a stupid answer. I hope my shit don't get straightened off because of this episode because I'm real passionate about this episode. I really am. I really am, dog. Anywho, SmackDown was a very, very good episode. Like, 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 I enjoy SmackDown. Can I can I deal without the Bella Twins being on there? Yeah, yeah, I understand, but I understand that was story. Like that match was never supposed to finish. All right, so the match they added on that card for SmackDown, uh, maybe Wednesday or Thursday, when they added the tag team championship match with R-Truth and Damian Priest versus the MFTs, right? I knew R-Truth was going to win. Now I didn't even know they was in South Carolina, North Carolina, wherever they was at. I didn't even know they was there. I But even more, I knew they was going to win it. Right, because R-Truth was from there. But I knew the title was changing it. I knew it then because of the fact that they want the belts off of them so they can uh, focus the tag team belts away from that storyline. Now the storyline with the MLTs and the YS6 doesn't really bother me. I know what's gonna happen. In my head, I know that Tama Tonga, who got fined the shit out of recently, because he's been sharing shit on TV, and not TV, like sharing shit on the net of him. I mean, not him, but like him too, but in general, like stuff that he shouldn't be sharing. Right? And he's been doing this for a minute now, for what I've heard. Like he was videotaping stuff, and he got Ray Phoenix without his mask on, and then he was filming a rehearsal for SmackDown, which is a no-no. So he got fined for it because he wasn't supposed to be doing shit like that in the first place. So he got fined, but like it, it's it's gonna make him go face. Cause last night he came out he came Tonga came at Solo, like Jimmy came at Jay with the whole you sound like Roman, you know, and Solo doesn't want to hear that. Alright, which but like any some of this stuff got to get shift. Alright, because they've been dragging this out for a minute now. I'm hoping to some of them got fined. They don't mean they killing this push. I hope that doesn't happen with him. But it was a good show. I enjoyed this show. Like uh, I even enjoyed uh the what Jelly Roll stuff. And even him, he was spread it around too. Pause. Like when he was in the beginning, the middle, some of the end. You know, you know. But like he was there. Like, he was there. Then you know. Listen, I haven't been negative about the Jade and uh, Jade and Rhea statements, and I'm not going to be negative this time. It's probably the best one they did so far. Man, that's not saying much. Now, what I did like, and when I talk about it, it's not going to be in a negative way. I'm talking about it either. Like the Jade getting Meacham and B Fab as her backup, not a bad idea. Not are they copying? Yes, yes, because Jay had this with the baddies from AEW. Right now, should they have done this sooner? Yeah, but Meacham and B Fab were hurt. May I add, they was hurt by Jade in a live show, and this is why they couldn't do the stuff they had to do before because Nishim got hurt, and then bad B5 whatever his name is got hurt too. You know, so like they had to wait. They had to wait. So but it's not a bad idea. Like you protect her, Jade. All right, you put people who's willing. And I'm not saying Jade's not willing to work hard and get better in the ring, but you protect her with Misha and BFAB, and you let them do the heavy lifting. And I'm not saying BFAB is better than her in the ring, but you can tell she wants to get better. And again, I'm not saying Jade's not trying to get better, but you also got the Chelsea Green effect right now, right? Where they don't want her to beat certain people, so she doesn't wrestle a lot, even though she wants to wrestle a lot. But they don't want her beating Charlotte. They don't want her beating Tiffany again. They don't want her beating stars bigger than her that she got to be in the ring because she's champion. This is why we don't see her a lot in the ring, right? And then you see her against B-Fab and Meecham because of the fact that they're not worried about Meecham or B-Fab taking L's, you know. But it was a good show. I enjoy SmackDown. I enjoy SmackDown. Maybe SmackDown was the best show the whole week. But that's gonna be the end of my show. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, share. Make sure you guys watch wrestling. Make sure you guys watch E-Feds. Make sure you guys watch New Breed. This is the Hiredgun podcast with the Hiredgun. God bless. Love you guys. I'm out.